I'm at a house show.
I was gonna put this
Like I'm listening to some alternative band that thinks that they're
that
cool.
plays in their basement.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Drinking a PBR, like, ew.
Do not attempt to adjust your computer. There is nothing wrong. We have taken control as to bring you this special show once again. The Mothership flies through cyberspace. My name is Dobie Maxwell, also known as the King of Uranus. To your left, to my right, Greg DeGuire. The brain has never gone deeper in mine. I don't know where your brain goes, but it's deeper than anybody I've ever seen. And it's awesome just to sit next to you because I can feel the vibes coming my way.
Better we don't ask questions.
If you don't ask questions, just go with it. To your left, my right, our Millennial Falcon, Carrie Turner. You're dressed up today, Carrie. You look very nice.
Thank you.
We keep it radio. We have like the footy slippers, you know, unshaven, unbathed.
Pajama pants.
Pajama day. Let's do
Yeah, make us
that.
look really good. We
Can do
appreciate that. This is Al, our galactic pal from the Galactic Federation, on loan from Uranus. I have no idea where his home is, but
Parts unknown.
Parts unknown, like the wrestler. We have a triple here. And today's show, we're known to talk about things paranormal, whether it's UFOs and spaceships and ghosts and all time travel. I love all those things. But today, I'd like to go in a completely different direction. There's a word which I'm sure you know, you may not know, Schadenfreude. Do you know what that is, Gary?
Yeah.
What is it? Test you.
It's in a musical that we watch, and it's getting happiness from the misfortune of
Absolutely correct. Very
Ding, ding,
impressive.
ding, 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 ding.
I know you're not just another pretty face.
Yeah.
That's absolutely correct.
others. I had to think for a minute.
Schadenfreude is the open celebration of the misfortune of others. I have on the show today in my slimy little hands an obituary. And the obituary is of a former Major League Baseball player named Todd Froworth. Todd Froworth and I went to high school together at Mesmer High School in Milwaukee, which happens to be a parochial school, Catholic school. And at the time, when I went into high school, we had to buy books. Now, I think that's the way it is now in every school. Public school, did you have to buy books?
Yeah.
You did. Did you go to public school or private?
Both.
How about you?
Yep. Had to buy all that kind of fun stuff.
You were public schools. Well, at the
Public
time,
schools, yeah.
I know I'm ancient, but back then the public school kids got the books free, as I recall. And I went to public grade school and then Catholic high school. That's all has a point. We had to buy textbooks, and the Todd Froworth was a sophomore as I was a freshman coming in, and the English class, the English textbook, they had changed the textbooks, and the sophomores knew about it, and they tried to sell their book to the freshmen to get money as a prank, a joke, a rib, you know what I'm saying? So, haha, stupid freshman, bought the book, had no idea. So I was a stupid freshman. I don't know what it was, $10, $12, $15, whatever it is. Thought I was getting a deal because you could get new books or used books. I was raised by my grandparents who lived through the Great Depression, which meant vicariously I had to live through the Great Depression. So if I could save them a plugged buffalo nickel, they were thrilled about it. So I think I'm doing this great thing.
Ate beets and potatoes for dinner every night.
Absolutely right. They walked uphill to work both
Yeah,
ways and worked in the sauerkraut mines in Milwaukee, and it's just a horrible existence. And they brought it down to me. And so to make a long story twice as long like I usually do, I bought the book. I thought I got a deal. I found out that I had been scammed, that they weren't using that book. Todd Froworth at the time was probably a head and a half taller than me. So I walk up to him, and with the book, I said, "Could you please give me my money back?" "I'm not giving you your money back." I said, "Oh, I beg to differ. I think you are." And he was a bully. My father was a bully. I don't take bullies well. You might knock my teeth out. You might bloody my nose. But I ain't going anywhere without a fight. So I took Todd Froworth, who was a good foot and a half taller than me, and I put him up against a locker, and I said, "I'll knock your teeth down your throat and blow my nose with your death certificate if you don't give me that." I'm for a high school freshman. I was pretty proud of my ad lib like that. I'm thinking, if you're going to get me, and his eyes got like 2 fried eggs, and he said, "I'm not giving you your money back. I think you're going to do it." So a Catholic nun had to pull us apart like a professional wrestling match. And so, "What's going on here?" And I showed her the book. "Did you do this?" "Yes." So she made him give me the money back. And all throughout high school, he was a year older, a year ahead of me. And we never looked at each other. We never talked to each other. In my entire childhood, I wanted to be a Major League Baseball pitcher. People have dreams. Maybe they want to be an actress, an astronaut, a rock star, baseball player, comedian, whatever it is. My thing, I wanted to be a baseball player. And Todd Froworth had a weird kind of an underhand delivery, and he got to play 9 years in the major leagues with 4 different teams. And all through my adult life, I was doing the comedy thing. Todd Froworth, I turned on TV, there's Todd Froworth from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, living my dream. And the whole thing, it bothered me for years and years and years, and I tried to get over it. And every time I saw him on TV, so the end of the story is the obituary was in last week's paper. Todd Froworth had died of cancer, and everybody in the book and in the article, he was such a wonderful soul and a wonderful human being. And don't speak ill of the dead. If you can't say something nice about somebody, don't say anything at all. And I'm really thinking, okay, now I feel bad that he's dead, and I don't wish that he had cancer. And all these years later, it was a stupid fight that I really kind of kept inside of me all this time. There's another part of me that really feels like I won.
Yeah.
And what now? The reason I told you that whole long drawn out story is, what is it about the human animal, which we all are, whether we are the Anunnaki programmed us, whether it's the ruse term God, whatever that is, what about us makes us feel these feelings? Now, he is, if there's a next world, he knows where it is. Can he watch us? Is there another dimension there? Do all cosmic beings throughout the galaxy, if there are other aliens, does Al's family have these feelings? It's not a pleasant thing I wished him to break his arm and break his leg, and I hope you get cancer. Well, I didn't hope you get cancer, and you say that, and sure enough, he got cancer, and now he has transformed into the next cosmic dimension, if there is one. And I really think I'll never get a chance to tell the story again, but it's a timeless story. As we're recording this,
We've all been there.
We've all been there. And I don't think I had a stepmother when I was a kid. I prayed for her slow and painful death, and you know what? I got it. She had diabetes, and she lost a leg, and she couldn't see, and it was only after I heard she died that I was able to forgive her. And as a kid, you don't see that. Do you ever have a step family? It's pretty common now. You do?
I mean, my parents are divorced, but you know, they got girlfriends, boyfriends, so.
Are there kids that are half siblings?
No, not yet.
Do you have any?
Negative.
Okay. I have one half sibling, half brother, and a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And we did not get along as kids. But looking back on it now, I get it. That was her natural son. Of course you're going to favor him. And it makes perfect sense now. We get along fine now. I said, I'm sorry I thought that way. But as a child, we don't always think these things. What is programmed in us. And I'm sorry to hog the floor here. I just want to throw this out for, I mean, it just seems to me a flaw in the design.
No, but it makes sense, and I guess I never really thought about it like that.
I was first introduced to that term by The Simpsons. All hail Simpsons.
Including OJ.
6 Degrees of Homer Simpson. It was this very specific episode. It was called The Leftorium. Ned Flanders opened a left-handed store. And the store was failing miserably. And Ned Flanders had to sell all of his possessions in his house to make rent for the store. So Homer being Homer goes over and outbids Flanders, gives him like $2 for his couch, a nickel for his barbecue, and Marge comes home and they're living in the Flanders living room set outdoors, living the high life, and she gives Homer a what for, and Lisa's his dad. Do you know what Schadenfreude is? Like, no, I don't know what Schadenfreude is. So Lisa explained to Homer what that meant. So that was my first time with that term. But I've had that feeling before.
Did I pronounce it wrong? I thought it was Schadenfreude.
Whatever.
I don't know. And if you're German and you have the word, let us know what it is. I could be wrong.
No, I could be wrong too.
I mean,
it's The Simpsons.
Tomato,
it's not
tomato.
a story. Yeah, The Simpsons are not a historical documentation.
Correct.
But they were right about a few things. Anywho, everyone's had that thought or feeling. I mean, not necessarily to wish the death upon somebody, but man, I hope that guy trips on his way up the stairs, that son of a gun. We've all felt that way, and I don't know what part of human instinct makes us feel those things. That's a valid question.
I'm not proud of that feeling.
It's a lot of things together, though. It's like jealousy, rage, and
Pride.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things.
A lot of insecurity, too, I think.
Yeah, human emotions are a very fragile thing, and when they're stomped on by sometimes you feel worse when they're stomped on by complete strangers rather than sometimes someone you're close to. But then that's also the reverse otherwise. Well, I go, who cares? I don't know who that guy is, but it hurts when you talk to me that way. So it depends on your frame of mind at the time. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good
Now,
question.
it's like an obscene gesture. If either one of you gave me the finger, I would laugh. If I get it in traffic by a stranger, I tend to be enraged.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's just a whole delicate little, I don't even know what would you call it. And it's different for everyone, and we're all individual. And it boggles my mind, and it's got to be cosmic. I can't believe that it's just us here. You see these aliens, and the Close Encounters is an example with the green and the giant head, or ET, and I think do they have the same emotions and the same quirks that we do? Their technological advancement is thousands, millions, billions of light years ahead of us. Are they still jealous? Your spaceship does wheelies, whatever. Mine doesn't.
I don't know. I mean, it depends
if they crash in Roswell.
I mean, if they're an older civilization, it's the sexy theory is that they should have evolved beyond that sort of thing. That now they're together as a species and they're able to travel through the cosmos and find other species and either eat them or overrule them or what have you. But they've come together as a society to pull off these feats of science. That's why humans fail, because we cannot find a way to pull together, because due to jealousy, or I'm sure jealousy is probably one of the top 5 reasons of why these things happen, because somebody else has something that somebody else doesn't.
For those of you that brought your Bibles with you and you're watching us, God talks about as I am a jealous God. I believe it's in the Old Testament. I can't give you chapter and verse. But you think God is perfect in love and holy and doesn't get upset. Well, if God gets jealous and we're created in his image, I guess we do too.
Yeah.
And it just, you think after all the years and how many millions, billions of years we've been in existence, they would breathe that out of us like cattle, like dogs.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, humans have been doing some of the same menial tasks forever, and we still can't seem to find a way to get it right. I mean, no matter what the chore. Well, for example, look at shopping malls. There have been markets to go shopping for goods, services, and clothes since ancient Sumeria, right? So we're talking 5,000 years. People have been going to market to buy textiles and fish and bread. And they still can't get it right today. There's still arguments in line at grocery stores. I mean, they haven't been able to figure it out. You'd think humans should be a little bit more evolved in their thinking to be able to cope with others in a public gathering. Can't pull it off.
Now, I did read an article one time. I don't know if it's just food for thought, that allegedly a time traveler from the distant future came back to us and could not believe that we don't have free energy, free gas, free heat, free electricity for the benefit of all. Clothing doesn't cost anything. You just go get all your physical needs are made, and the time life is spent helping your fellow humankind.
Well, if we didn't have a monetary system in place, if money had never been invented, yeah, for sure, life as we know it would have been drastically different. But because greed, which is a path to the dark side, a smarter man than me once said, there you have it. Greed and jealousy and lust.
It would still tie
you're
in.
gonna drive society right to its knuckles with those 3. Until you can find a way to control those particular emotions at specific times. Not complete control over emotions, because I think that's gone the wrong direction too. But if you can find a way to put a lasso around these particular emotions at specific times instead of letting them control your actions, you may actually have something.
Well, that I think takes us on to the word that is about as cosmic as it gets, love. What is love? Does anybody feel it? Do you think you feel it? You're in love. You're out of love for a while. That one person that you could not live without. Pretty soon, everything they do annoys the living. It just you cannot look at them. They breathe. They blink. They sit. They snore. They do whatever they do. And this person that you could not wait to spend time with, you cannot wait to get away from. Why is that?
Well, no, that's human behavior. That's a behavior trait. You finally got what you want, but now you don't want what you got.
Right.
That happens. It's common. But why does it happen?
Why does it happen? You think it's like, okay, we agree. Whoever it is that you're going to be with. You have a little valve, a stem, you pull it out, okay, we're the ones, bang. Now we're lifetime set up. But that doesn't work that way.
No.
And it gets complex, then you have kids, and the divorce. I mean, do aliens get divorces? Can you believe that? You go to another planet, I'm dropping the kid. I'm going to see my dad. He's on,
2 light years away.
Exactly. He's on Neptune, and drop it off for the weekend, come back and pick him up, go through the cosmic time tunnel. It just, it amazes me.
There's a couple of them there.
I'm fascinated by this whole thing. It totally out of the blue. And my sister, who we didn't talk for 20 years, we had a falling out. There's another thing too. People are supposed to be your basic. Is it the same DNA model? I would say your parents. There's got to be some kind of similarities there. But how many siblings do you know that are completely different?
Well, it depends. All right, so you're a product of you're a product of your environment
and heredity too.
And hereditary. So some of your behavior traits are genetic, whether you know it or not. That's why sometimes, you were just like your great grandpa Francis. Well, how do you know that? Because some of these things get passed out from generation to generation. In your DNA, that's what happens. But even living in the same house, like my brother and I mean, we're vastly different people. We grew up in the same house, but he had his interests and I had mine. And you let your interests kind of control how you're brought up. Parents notwithstanding, of course, they had a great deal of input in how you became who you became. But it's your interests and your hobbies that kind of fine tune things a little bit. That can put you into separate ways and separate motions. That happens. I mean, we had the same room. We had the same room for a great number of years, but he still had his things, and I had my things. And then you get separate bedrooms, and you no longer become the same person. Now, that's when you started. When you get privacy for the first time, that's when you become an individual completely separate from anyone else who has any input. You can take that input into you and help mold you into what you are. But when you get your own private time, finally, now I can do what I want to do.
My parents had bunk beds. That's weird. That's too much private time.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. Comedy. You wonder how that is. Like you talk about twins. You always hear stories that when one twin dies, another one feels part of him or her died. You know any twins?
Other than Luke and Leia, but I don't think they were paternal twins, not fraternal twins.
It would have been funny if they were conjoined in the movie. Would be kind of funny.
Oh, that would change the outlook of that movie
Lightsaber.
altogether. Yeah.
When I grew up, there were twins that I went to church with, and they were really nice kids. And I swear I could not tell them apart. Their names were Jeff and Jerry. And you looked at them, and Jeff, I'm Jerry. Jerry, I'm Jeff. And I'd ask, their mom obviously was around, and she could tell, obviously, in a second. But it's just there's got to be a same, like a clone almost, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. Well, even identical twins sometimes grow up to be different people.
Right.
But again, it's all a product of your environment.
Are you a National Football League fan? It's okay
Sort
if
of.
you're not. Do you know who Rex Ryan and his brother Rob?
Mm-hmm.
They're identical twins.
Coaches.
They're coaches, and their dad was a coach, and they're identical twins. One has got a short, almost an army style haircut, not a flat top.
And he's very flamboyant. He's very outspoken. He lives for the camera to be in his face, and he can't wait to tell you his every living thought. His brother, on the other hand, is a defensive coordinator. I think he's a defensive coordinator.
Yes.
I've never heard one interview with him.
But
I'm sure he's
got
given them, but
long,
I've never heard.
almost a mullet style,
Yeah.
just a big bushy hair.
Looks like he's out of the 70s, man.
Oh my goodness.
And they're identical twins. And
Yeah.
would you put them together, you would never know that they're identical twins. So there
Nope.
must be some kind of difference in there too.
Yeah, I don't know why you think as a collective, as humans, we should be able to come together and build and do almost anything. But again, it's greed, jealousy, lust, love, you name it. All those things, when used correctly, can do a great many good things. Used incorrectly or in the wrong circumstance, well, that's how Facebook was invented. Now, when Mark Zuckerberg got denied by girlfriends, he was like, well, I'll get them back. I'll post their picture up and talk about how crappy they are. Well, there you have it. That's how wars start. That's how revenge breeds sometimes interesting things, and sometimes it just breeds pure hate. But out of that hate, sometimes something good can grow. So to say to want to try to eliminate it, I think you're gonna. I think it creates a different possibility. It creates a different society altogether.
Well, that would be a good thing because the one now is not working.
Well, now maybe not. Again, if you eliminate
I don't like
those,
it. I'm on the wrong planet.
but Facebook grew
Get off
in.
my planet.
Well, I'm picking on Facebook only because out of it, I
You
think
can
grew something special. I think it grew a very unique way to communicate with people who you don't live with anymore, don't see with anymore. Or someone moves to Alaska, you can communicate with them daily if you want to.
Yeah.
But that was a good that come out of something bad to start with.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, to quote Beavis and Butthead, sometimes you need stuff that sucks in order to know what's cool. Sorry, sometimes Beavis and Butthead are pretty smart.
Any thoughts from the peanut gallery? Don't mean to hog the air.
No, I agree with Facebook because a lot of it can be used for good. I like seeing the uplifting posts and everything,
Right.
but then some people just use it to,
Hate, completely
Yeah.
hate.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, now you say it's high school. We're back in high school.
Yeah.
It's anybody.
But think about it. You're pretty close to that age. But I remember being a kid. I looked at the high school kids. Man, they really got it together. They can drive. They go on dates. They can stay up late,
Drink
drink beer, do whatever they want. Oh, that must be so great.
beer.
I can't wait till I get to high school. Now I look at high school kids. It's like, oh my God, are you have any business near amplified sound equipment, a computer. I don't want you near my car. Your hormones are
Get off
bubbling
of
like
my lawn.
chili. If I have a daughter and a boy comes over to take them out, I'm going on the
Shoot
date
first.
with a gun in each ear and said, "You better be watch the movie. You put your hand near, I'll blow the trigger right now."
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, is that how it is in our genetic development? Are we the pubescent teenagers of the galaxy, of the universe, of the cosmos?
I mean, yeah, as a species, humans are relatively new to this neck of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
But what if we're also the first one? What if there's no such thing as aliens? Just for example, what if we're all wrong? And what if we are the only ones out here? What if we were the first ones? What if we are the ones who put these things in space and other societies find it and grow because of the crap we floated out there? What if we've got it backwards? What if we are the aliens we are creating? What if we ourselves are the aliens? What if we have created this whole nonsense?
Then I think the Big Bang better just come and bang again and blow us up like a Bud Light. Just.
But I mean, the point to that is, so we're not totally evolved. But at what's it going to take? I mean, how many bad things does it take for a species to learn its lesson, to know what you should do and what you shouldn't do? For example, and I'm going to pick on Korea for a second. Kim Jong-un, the current dictator of North Korea, he comes from a line. It's his dad was Kim Jong-il, and then it was Kim Jong-il's dad was in charge of Korea in the 50s during the Korean conflict. That whole family just keeps breeding hate after hate after hate, and it's a non-stop circle. What's it going to take to stop that? You blow them out of the water, then what if somebody else comes around who's just equally as bad? Some things you can't stop. It's like people who watch NASCAR. They don't give a crap about the race, but they can't wait to see the wreck and turn forward 225 miles an hour.
That's my whole point.
Yeah. Sometimes people watch to see the wreck.
What is inside Billy Bob that is hoping for that right turn
I don't know.
at the NASCAR?
Well, I mean, this raises another thing. Violence on the TV. I'm going to pick on The Walking Dead for just a moment.
Okay.
I like that show, first and foremost. I'm a fan of The Walking Dead. But what makes you a fan of The Walking Dead? Why would you want to see zombies eat people? Why would you want to see people murdering the undead? What makes that fun? Part of it is because I think there's too many handcuffs on society. Too many no's, you can't do this, no, you can't go there, no, you can't go on that grass when it's growing, no, you can't go. So there's so many handcuffs on society, people have a need to want to let loose and watch the things that they can't do. Like violent video games are a blast to play. So why is it so fun murdering thousands of people in a video game? You do that in real life, you're going to jail, you're going to get shot. So why is it fun to do it in a video game? Because you can. It's an aggression releaser without actually doing the thing. So I think society is too put in a corner, and nobody puts baby in a corner. Right? Baby's going to fight out of the corner. So I think if you put humans in a corner, now they need an outlet for their aggression. So they're not going to go murder people in real life. So they're going to go get Grand Theft Auto or whatever new hot video game was out there that you can murder the most people.
Is Frogger still out there?
Frogger, yes.
That's pretty
Across the
cool.
street without getting run over by the car. But some people rooted for the truck to run over. Like when my brother played, I hope the big red truck gets him. Then it's going to be my turn.
Yeah.
It happened back then too. But it's an outlet. I think plain, pure, simple, it is an outlet for trapped aggression. More and more people need that. I mean, we've all seen road rage. Holy cow, that we live in an angry society. This is a powder keg ready to blow. So what do you need to release that energy? What do you need to release that so these things don't happen, so wars don't happen, so things go more smooth? People just need to calm down sometimes. I think that's a factor in all
A
of
quote from Albert Einstein is, "World War IV will be fought with sticks." I don't know if you've ever heard that before, but it implies that it's not bred out of us. We have to go back to, monkeys throwing poo. That could be a band name. You never know.
I
But
have that one many times over.
I don't want that to be.
Wait, I don't
our
rename
destiny.
this.
That doesn't have to be our destiny. I just find it annoying after all these thousands of years and generations that we haven't learned from history. But
Yeah,
what
we
Greg
never.
is doing, if you're a first-time viewer, we do thank you for doing that. What Greg does is when any of us say something that could possibly be an exotic name, with exotic
Heavy,
Yeah,
heavy
they were-
metal band names.
any kind of band.
Yeah,
Well,
any
not
kind
just,
of band.
Not just the heavy metal.
It
Heavy metal
started
too.
off, yeah, it started off as heavy metal band names. It can't
Disco,
go anywhere.
salsa, punk, polka.
And so,
what do we got?
so far today I have Pajama Pants, Sauerkraut Mine, Cosmic Time Tunnels, Conjoined Jedis, and the Poop Chuckers.
Poo chuckers. That'll be this next Lollapalooza. Just gonna roll. That's the whole lineup.
That sounds like
Make
two
a
guys
poster
with
with all
Yeah,
these names.
that'll be really cool.
two guys with banjos. We're the poop chuckers. See?
I bet if
I
you
like
did that.
bug poo last week.
Bug
Bug
poo.
poo,
Yeah,
yeah.
poo has always been a funny word to
Bug
me.
poo, yeah.
And the older you get, the more fun it is to say that. When a 5-year-old says it, it's giggly. When an adult says it, it's really
I think my favorite from last time was loads of crap.
What was the one about that
Spastic
one?
Vulcans.
That one right there. That was my favorite.
Oh, diabetic, arthritic weirdo. No, it was debilitated arthritic weirdo. That's
We are all of the above. We appreciate
Yes.
you listening to and viewing, however you're intaking and consuming our show. We're on the radio for a long time. Now we are on cyberspace. We're going to take it a little bit farther. Since we've been on, we're releasing the shows. Is it Tuesday? Is it Wednesday? You would know that better than I would.
We've been
Tuesday.
doing every Tuesdays. Yeah, I just picked
For
it
the
out.
most part.
We can certainly release it on any other day than Tuesday, but we started on a Tuesday. and We've just been keeping with that
And
frame.
Yeah, and the reason I think that, excuse me for interrupting you, that we're doing that is we're kind of getting warmed up. I don't know if we're going to do 10 of these or 15 or 20 or stop doing it. We do have a line of guests that are from the radio that are waiting to come back on. I am trying to get in touch with our former radio station, WLIP in Kenosha, about re-releasing some of the guests we had just on audio so we can get it. We had such a great lineup of guests that I don't know if we can necessarily duplicate that, but people are lining up to be on. So we do appreciate that. If you have any suggestions of topics you'd like us to talk about, we're pretty much open. Like, this is not necessarily a cosmic topic, but I could not believe that. I saw that obituary, and all these years later, I felt guilty for, I didn't want him to die, but it's like, boy, that's years of just angst and anger.
Well, real quick, I have a listener, Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
Jeremy watches us pretty good. I used to work with Jeremy. He actually floated me a suggestion about economic statutes and just different ways of doing things, like different ways society could deal and do with things. I've got your notes, Jeremy. I'll be bringing that up in a future show. I think Jeremy had a very good idea. But again, it's a different way of living, different way of doing things, how talking about sustainable ways of growing food, and we're talking about sustainable economies. I think these are all good societal questions, because why do we do the things that we do? Why don't we ever have the answers to that? So you do something, I'm like, oh, why did I just do that? I don't know. Why? Why would you do that?
And here's those stories. So that, on that happy note, an incompleted note, we also like to acknowledge our first studio audience member, Emelye.
There we go.
Hi, Emelye. She's been hectic. She's holding up signs, get off the air. And it's our show. But thanks for being here, Emelye. We do appreciate you. And thanks to Greg. The Cosmic Compound, we can't tell you where it is. It's somewhere in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
No, so if you hear oddball noises, this is a working compound, so sometimes the phone will ring. We'll have other people pounding on the upper floor. Or the heater kicks on. The sump pump clicks on. Normal noises in the compound. Nothing to worry about. The Russians haven't gotten to us just yet.
Yes, we are building a survivalist camp too. So if you do drop the big one, Greg's got 55-gallon drums of macaroni.
I do.
noodles.
There's a tote under the stairs.
No
I
one's
labeled it.
invited.
I labeled it my tote of doom. It's all written all over it because a number of years ago there was a tornado in January that ended right across the street at Camelot Apartments. It ripped half the roof off. And I realized I had zero preparations for disaster.
Doomsday prepper.
Doomsday prepper.
That's
So
awesome.
I got blankets and batteryless flashlights. I got a big hunkin' axe in there. So in case the floor caves in, I can hack it off me. I don't know what I was
You get a
thinking about.
freeze-dried ox hanging in the garage. We can't tell you where it is. We'll have to kill you in a
Yes.
friendly and a customer service
Wait,
kind of way.
that's-
That's going to be our last one. Al has got to get back before his visa expires. Thanks for watching. We are the Mothership, and we can find us on Facebook.
Yep, Facebook at the Mothership Connection or Gregory DeGuire, or email us at
alienxfile at wi.rr.com or WLIPmothership@live.com.
And a YouTube channel, too.
Yes. So the Mothership Connection on YouTube, and the other email is tinfoiltalkshow@gmail.com.
Swing down,
Right.
sweet chariot, stop, and let me ride. We are the Mothership. Check it out. We'll be back soon. Join us, please.